Greetings, fellow educators. My name is Alice Uwinema and I'm a lower primary English teacher. As a language teacher, my goal has always been to help young learners to develop the basic yet essential skills of reading and writing. Discovering phonics as one of the effective approaches has been one of my greatest achievements. It not only made my work easier, but also helped my learners gain the ability to read and write in an easy, effective, and fun way. In this video, I will take you through this magical and powerful method of teaching reading and writing using one of the structured phonics program as a guide. Welcome. What is phonics? Phonics is simply a way of teaching children how to read and write. It helps them hear, identify, and use different sounds that distinguish a word from another in the English language. There are 4 different types of phonics: analogy, analytical, embedded, and synthetic phonics. Synthetic phonics or approach is the most widely used approach. The reason to why it is the most common approach is that it was proven to be the easiest, effective, and comprehensive approach, especially to young learners. But how? Most of us learned or are teaching reading using the whole language approach, in which we simply memorize or are getting our learners to memorize words, shapes, and spellings without having an understanding of how these words got their spellings. This method is ineffective and outdated because imagine if English has got more than 400,000 words. How many words should a child memorize to be able to read or write? This is where phonics becomes the unbeatable way or method of teaching reading and writing. The synthetic phonics approach involves the teaching of reading in which sounds associated with particular letters are pronounced or taught in isolation and blended or put together to form words. What do I mean by letters and sounds? Using this flashcard, I have letter B, while this is sound B. Letter B makes sound B. If we also try to use the formed words to try to have a better understanding, I have this book that is called The ABCs of Rwanda. The first word in this book is akagera. When I'm reading akagera, I don't use letter A to read the word akagera. I rather use the sound that letter A makes, which is A. Letter A makes sound A. That is why the word is akagera. For the second word, which is banana, I do not use letter B to use the word to read the word banana. Letter B rather says B, which gives me the word banana. This approach, learners are able to understand how words are formed instead of just memorizing their shapes or their spellings. You might be wondering how this is done. Let's briefly explore it in a practical way using one of the examples of a phonics program that follows the synthetic approach, Jolly Phonics. There are 5 skills developed in Jolly Phonics. Number 1, learning the 42 letter sounds. Jolly Phonics groups these 42 letter sounds into 7 groups. All these letters are learned through actions and songs. What do I mean by actions? Taking an example of sound N, when I am teaching sound N, I don't simply say sound N. If I'm teaching sound B, I don't simply say this is sound B. I also accompany it with its action, which is this one, B. I pretend to be hitting with a bat, B, B. This helps the child to remember. Every time he sees the sound, he remembers the action, or every time you do the action, it helps him to remember the sound. Number 2, letter formation. Letter formation teaches how to write using multisensory methods. What do we mean by this? When you are teaching how letters or sounds are formed, you shouldn't go directly to the last step, which is writing. You could write in the air. For example, if we are learning sound N, can write it in the air. We can write it in the sand. We can stick different stickers in the shape of sound N. All this helps the child to get the right formation of that specific sound. Number 3, blending. Blending is the ability to combine individual sounds to form words or to read, to be able to read. For example, in the word cow, we show the child that this specific word, the word cow, is made of 3 sounds, k, o, and w. When we blend them, when we put them together, we are making a word. This way, a child will get to know where the word came from instead of simply memorizing how the word looks. Number 4, segmenting or identifying sounds in words. This is very crucial for spelling. With the same example, in the word cow, if I want the child to spell that word, I use the letters segmented or identified as individual sounds. K, o, w. Cow. Number 5, tricky or sight words. These are also called irregular words. What does it mean? It simply means that they do not follow the rule of blending or putting the letters together to form words. Taking an example of the word water, we cannot blend the word water into w, a, t, e, and r. No. A child has to memorize or recognize that this is a tricky word and simply learn how to memorize it. Other examples, the word he, as in he is a boy. The word he is tricky because we cannot blend it into h and e. It is he, same as she, we, me, and so many others. This was the overview of what phonics is. Thank you.